I think it already is. This is ready to go.
Wastelands is a psychological drama about a fractured mind, Alice's fractured mind, and the story focuses on Alice trying to navigate her life as she has various conditions, various mental conditions, and she tries to navigate her life while having a very ritualistic way of dealing with the world. She keeps herself to herself, she's very self-isolated, until one day her dad is thrust back into her life, which opens up a Pandora's box of family secrets and emotions.
At that moment, these two sequences that we do, you need to build up to that. So I need to see that in your eyes. Yeah, let me see that moment in your eyes, okay?
We create moments and memories for the characters, and we live in those moments and memories for the characters. So if there's a scenario between two people who have meant to have had a long standing relationship, I create memories for those characters to be able to live in that space, and then as an actor they've got that to recall on and work within. Film for me is an art form, and everything within a film, from the set design to the way that the actors work, to the way that I work as a director and an actor, to just the whole ambience of the set, has to be right in order to capture that, and everyone has to have that same focus. So I put the actors through it, but I also put my crew through a similar process of respecting the actors, giving them space, give them space and back off, let them do what they need to do. And if an actor looks crazy to you, fine, just let them do what they need to do, because when they then deliver that performance that lives on, then at least I know that I can be proud that my work has performances that stand the test of time, hopefully. We're doing scene 33, which is within this period of the film. Alice has found out news that her dad has not got long left and he's about to pass. So it's her kind of medicating him and feeding him, while at the same time kind of dealing with the trauma of getting ready to lose him. So it's that kind of critical period in someone's life where they're about to lose a parent, and that's what we're prepping for right now. But with this film, there's a lot of unspoken truths and a lot of unspoken, like in all families, there's a lot of secrets in families that most of the time stay hidden and usually come out in a situation like this when someone's about to pass. So these moments are quite important for Alice, because she's about to find out a lot of stuff about herself and about her past.
Stay in that moment, don't move from that moment. Keep in that intensity, okay? Keep telling yourself how pathetic you are.
Around there?
Yeah, bring the camera here and get right close up here.
Wait, hold on to it for a second.
Just slow yourself down and wait for him to be set, okay? Wait for him to be set and stay in that mode.
So I do spend most of the time in character on set, because that's the way Kemal likes to work. I haven't fully done that before, but I kind of naturally, my process seems to be leading that way anyway, that I find the characters very hard to leave behind when I'm not filming. So it's actually been quite illuminating as an actor. It's really shown me how it can benefit your performance. So it's definitely something that going on from here I'm going to use a lot more.
When you go back in that room, you need to build up the intensity. Okay, you need to argue with him, you need to find out all these details of why he's been hiding all this from you all this time. She's not here to face it. He is.
It's probably easier to stay in character than to keep on coming out. But I come from a stage background, and when you're on stage, obviously for that entire performance, you are in character always. I think to provide the performance that's required when you're shooting a whole day's worth of scenes, it's probably better to stay in character all the time if you can. And you'll get the best out of the performance that way. Otherwise, coming out of character and then trying to go back into what you were before, it's really difficult to do.
The film is 90%, 95% her. The film is so locked in to this. it's so focused on her and what she's going through, and the world is spinning around her, that I needed someone that could just capture exactly what I was doing. It was all about the eyes and the face and just capturing that emotion. We spent 7 months in casting for this film. We saw hundreds of different actors, but because the role is such a dark and difficult role to play, I always knew it was going to be a tricky one, and we managed to whittle it down to screen tests of 4, and in walked in just Natasha, and I knew straight away that she was going to be Alice, because she just captured something that none of the other actors managed to. I mean, we were really lucky because we saw some great actors that come forward, but because this is a very specific type of character, I needed someone who's open-minded enough to be pushed, to really be pushed as an actor, because my particular way of working is a little bit different from the norm.
I was reliving moments of the character's life. I've got various things that have happened to me within the character, and there are even parts that perhaps aren't scripted. I've built up a memory bank for that character. The illness, obviously, that's something you have to keep thinking about. I did go and visit some hospitals and things where people have the same, they have this disease that Wilhelm is suffering from, to experience what those people must have been or are suffering, and to see physically, what would be like for me to be suffering that too. We shot the short film in 2017, and some of the memories that I built up then, I still remember them obviously, but I actually had dreams about the life that I never lived. At times there is a manifestation of Wilhelm in my day-to-day life while this film goes on. To answer the question, it does affect day-to-day life, and it is quite a mental thing sometimes. Yeah.
For me, one of my inspirations as a director is John Cassavetes, and he was very much, he said that the best landscape you could ever have is a landscape of the face, and for me, I want to feel something when I watch something, and that's why I always lock off the camera here, and I want to see the actors' expressions, and I want to see what they're trying to translate to me. Try your best to understand and empathise with the characters and what they're going through, even if they are bad, even if what they're doing is bad, because if somebody is doing a bad act, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're evil. It just means that that person's broken.
And you're really, really not that important in the grander scheme of things, and I want to see that brokenness in your face, the fact that really that you are really a small cog in a much, much bigger wheel. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. I think it's important to realise the film isn't like a normal adventure, literal story of drama. It's far more serious and profound than that. It's probably best to call it a microcosm into a troubled human being's mind, and to follow her journey. And obviously I can't give you too much because it reveals that entertainment factor of the film, but it's serious in the fact that very few films actually do that, actually glimpse a little bit of a human mind. You kind of have to guess what's going on. All the people that we meet, we see their behaviour, but we don't really understand what forms that behaviour in their minds. In this film you see a young woman, you see her behaviour, but at the same time you're seeing into her mind. So it's complex. It's left for the audience to participate in that adventure of trying to understand that, and it comes over that way if we do the job properly anyway. There is resolution. It's not on the nose, so some people will understand the film, really love it, and other people should walk out, okay, don't get it. It's that kind of film. It's not a film for the mass market, it's a film for the right kind of niche audience that likes serious films.